Welcome back to Stop and Fangirl. This is episode 2. Today we're going to be talking about Barry Allen and the fuck-uppery that is the finale and his choices in it. Before we start, we have a little fun game that we're going to play where each of us picks 3 characters for the other person, and we pick 3 characters for ourselves, and just have some fun with that. So to start off, we're going to start with Lyra. Go ahead, Lyra.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with myself. Got Sophie Pendragon from House Moving Castle. Got Peeta Mellark from Hunger Games. And I picked Kira from Teen Wolf. And then for Lizzie, I picked Sheriff Jody Mills from Supernatural. Hermione from Harry Potter. Andrea from The Walking Dead. And then for Linny, Donna Meagle, Donna Noble, Donna Paulson. A lot of Donnas here. There's a lot of Donna love.
All right, Lizzie, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna start with myself. I was gonna pick Hermione, but I didn't because everyone was going to. So I went with Jo March from Little Women, and I picked Kenzie Bly from NCIS Los Angeles, and Liz Lemon from 30 Rock. That's me. Lyra is Trish Walker from Jessica Jones, Rapunzel from Tangled, and then Neville Longbottom from Harry Potter. And Linny is Christina Yang from Grey's Anatomy, Teresa Lisbon from The Mentalist, and Elwyn from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I'll take that.
I'll agree with Neville. Neville is me.
I'm excited because I almost picked Joe for you for Little Women, and then I decided at the last second not to.
Okay, well, who do you pick?
For me. For myself, I am and will always be Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. And then I think that I'm a combination of Sean and Gus from Psych, like Gus's neuroticism and Sean's attention to detail, and then Felicity Smoke. Huh?
I said you're their baby, Sean and Gus. This is kind of frightening.
Yep. So for for Lizzie, I picked Hermione, and then Mary Lennox from Secret Garden, and then Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and not from Once Upon a Time, but from Beauty and the Beast.
Thank you for explaining that, for making sure that I knew. It's not the same thing.
Yes. Lyra is Matilda, Lilo from Lilo and Stitch, and then Alex Stumpy from Modern Family.
I like this.
So, for any of our listeners out there, now you know how weird we are and how awesome we are at the same token. Okay, so next I wanted to do the What's Up This Week. And I wanted us to kind of gush about something that we loved this week in movies, TV, songs, whatever made us happy. Lizzie, you start.
I start. I'm gonna talk about Once Upon a Time, which premiered on Sunday. And though I really, my favorite part was Regina and Snow, and the fact that they can now relate to each other as family. What I really want to talk about is Hook and Emma and whether they're having sex or not. Because this is really no, like it seems like they're not having sex, and this bothers me because, like, first of all, because female leads on TV don't seem to be having that much sex, and sex makes people happy, like endorphins and all of that, and maybe people who are having regular sex make better decisions. Like maybe Emma wouldn't be shaking around. That's just sexual frustration, 100%. Okay.
I am not going to disagree with you on that.
Well, this week I'm most excited about Scream Queens returning and the Chanels. I love that show. It's so trashy and they are so mean, but the women on there kick ass so hard. And this week, Colton actually, tonight, Tuesday at 9, Colton is going to be guest starring, and he's guest starring as this boil covered monstrosity, and I really hope he gets some screen time with John Stamos. Those two people together, cure him, John Stamos, cure him.
Like, I don't know. I don't know that everyone knows who Colton is, and you didn't say his last name. So for the people who are not Arrow fans or whatever, please explain.
It's Colton Haynes from Arrow, also Jackson Whitmore from Teen Wolf.
Okay. So Lyra is most excited about a boil-covered ex-Arrow star being on Scream Queen.
Pretty much. He's going to be cured, and then he's going to stare into John Stamos' eyes, and there might be sparks.
Yeah. I could see it. For me this week, I know Pitch was awesome and it had so many good things, but honestly, I got a little bit more into the plot of Designated Survivor. And I don't mean to compare the two, but I just don't want you to be mad at me for talking Designated Survivor. I really enjoyed Designated Survivor. I like what they're doing. I like Maggie Q in particular, her character, the mystery around her character, and I liked Atai Ritchie's character. And I mean, I know it's another white man in charge kind of deal, but the way in which they're weaving the story, I really enjoyed. So that was my excitement for this week. I really like that. And if you're not watching it, you should watch it. But you should also watch Pitch, because Pitch is cool too. It's awesome. Don't hate me, Lizzie.
I'm judging you right now.
We're mad.
I can feel your judgment. She's just looking at me like, okay. Okay. So, dun dun dun. Here we come to the purpose of this episode. And it is, what the fuck, Barry Allen? What the fuck? Okay? So in the finale, we all know what he did. He went back in time, right? We know in the comics that they're taking the flashpoint from that. We know in the comics that he saves his mom, his dad dies, he comes back, everything's differently. He's created multiple realities, 3 of them, and Captain Cold is the hero of Central City. Everything is weird, and he has to get Batman and Superman's help to fix it, which we can logically assume that Batman can be Green Arrow and Superman can be Supergirl for the TV show. So we know that. Let's talk about the show and what happened there.
So we're all familiar with the opening. I decided to tweak it a little bit. So here we go. My name's Barry Allen, and I'm the stupidest man alive. When I was a child, I saw my mother killed by the Reverse Flash. My father went to prison for her murder, but I fixed it and he bailed. An accident made me the impossible. And for a while, the outside world saw me as an ordinary forensic scientist when in fact I was using my speed, with the help of my friends, to fight crime, find others like me, and change people's lives for the better. Then one day I decided to say fuck it all, and I chose to change the past for my own selfish reasons without thinking about the consequences. I am an idiot.
Woo!
I think that deserves the applause.
I petition that we change the intro to The Flash. CW, call me.
Yes.
I love it.
Okay, so what that means exactly, Lizzie.
Let's talk about Barry. Barry's traveled back in time a few times. Like, he did it first in season 1 in episode 16, and he's supposed to have learned a lesson then that he cannot mess with time because bad things happen. And Cisco died, and then he didn't, and then he changed it, and everything was well. And Barry learned a lesson, supposedly, because as we'll figure out, Barry's not very good with lessons. Then at the end of season 1, he goes back in time in Fast Enough, and he decides that he's not going to save his mom. Um, he decides that he wants to stay in the life that he's lived, that Joe and Iris and the relationships that he's made mean enough to him. So we're supposed to believe that Barry learns a lesson or whatever. Um, but Barry apparently doesn't learn lessons really, really well, because when we come to season two, he he goes back in time again. Um, he like kind of figures out that when he goes back in time, he doesn't really fuck up everything this time, and then maybe he's left thinking that, wait, this could work. Um, so at the end of the season, no, before that, sorry, we spent an entire episode when he loses his powers. The episode's called The Runaway Dinosaur. And we spent those 42 or 43 minutes that I'm never getting back with Barry in the Speed Force, learning that he has to let go of his mother. And that's apparently very important to getting his powers back, though no one ever explained to me why or how or what the relationship was. But whatever. 40 minutes of that crap, and then Barry gets his powers back, and Barry's a new man. Barry, like, he already knows what he has to do to beat Zoom, and then he does. And but not before Zoom kills his dad. And then Barry, since he's the most selfish man alive, he's not only the stupidest man alive, he's the most selfish one. Barry decides, well, I lost my dad, but guess what? I can save my mom. Last time I went back in time, I didn't really fuck it up that much. So this can probably work. So he goes back in time and saves his mom, and here we are right now.
Fuck you, Barry.
Fuck you, Barry. So that brings us to the finale, kind of an explanation of his time traveling and how he got here. Not to mention the fact that Ronnie died in the wake of the season 1 finale to cover up for the going back in time because of the giant black hole that opened in the city and all the different people who, he's learned his lesson. It's just bizarre that they would just forget all that. But let's talk about the decision he made at the very end to go back in time and what aspect, just briefly, and then we'll go into more detail. Briefly, what aspect is most what the fuck?
That he chose his needs above the rest.
Yeah. That he's not a hero anymore. Like, Barry basically became the villain in his own story. You know how at the end of every season there's a villain that fucks everything up, and then the next season starts? Barry is the villain that fucked everything up in the Flash. He fucked his own life up, and now he has to fix it, but he did the damage. And I got no sympathy for him when before Barry was the most relatable character on the Flash.
Yep.
So he instigated his own issue for the next season by simply acting as a villain.
Yeah, by being so selfish. Like, Barry is literally, like, if you look up the definition of a hero, Barry is the opposite of that right now. And the funny thing is that he's been presented as a hero for so long, but he's never really been someone who's been able to put others or the city above his own needs. Like, he's very selfish. And some people would say, well, he's a kid, but he's supposed to be a hero. I'm supposed to look up to you, Barry. I'm having trouble here.
He chose his needs over his family, his new family, Iris and Joe, which I don't know how you could ever give up Joe. Sorry, Iris, but I love Joe. He chose his needs over the lives he's saved, the friends he's made, the people he's inspired, the stories he was part of, like his adventures with Oliver, and his adventures with Supergirl, and even maybe like a touch of Legends of Tomorrow. So why does he get to choose? Like, honestly, what makes him the right one? Why does Barry Allen get to choose how time plays out? He's selfish. I don't understand how he can put everything, all the good he's done, to the back burner like nothing. I don't get it.
So, how do you feel like this choice has impacted his journey to be a hero? Do you think it's forever damaged it, or do you think that he's going to learn a lesson from it?
It's made me not care for Barry Allen as much as I used to care for him. Before, I was completely invested and I was like, oh my god, I love Barry. Oh, sure, he's, messes up every once in a while, but he's going up, he's doing better. This shit has completely fucked it up. And I've lost faith in him as a hero. And personally, I can't wait until Iris yells at him. I can't wait until Joe gives him the cold shoulder. I can't wait until Felicity uses her loud voice when she finds out that he went and he changed everybody's lives because he wanted to, without knowing the consequences. Has he never seen a movie? Butterfly effect, one little thing changes everything. Saving your parents is gonna fuck up a lot of shit. Fuck you, Barry. I can't.
So, Lizzie, same question. How do you think that affects his journey to be a hero?
Like, I don't know. Like, right now, same as Lai, I don't really care for Barry. And he was my favorite character on The Flash. Right now, I'm like, I hope Joe doesn't want to talk to him. I hope, like, I love Iris. I've never loved Iris with Barry. Um, but maybe I could have gotten there, and now I can't. Right now, I really, really couldn't take Wes Allen. Because I want better for Iris than Barry. Like a man that would he doesn't know what he's getting in this new future. So he basically gave up Iris, and he had her. Like she was willing to give this a chance, and he said, "You know what, Iris? If you're not important enough for me, I'm gonna go back and save my mom, even though I've never had her, and I don't know what it means to have her. Um, she's the possibility of having her is more important than having you. And I get it. I've lost a parent." But Barry, a lot of people have lost things. A lot of people have had things in their life that they want to change, and people don't, like, maybe because we can't, but we don't take the easy way out. And not only like, okay, let's take Sarah Lance. Sarah Lance lost her fucking sister. I'm sorry, but it's gonna be a lot of cursing in this episode, okay? Sarah Lance lost her fucking sister. She has a time machine, okay? She could have just gone on the Wave Rider and been like, okay, I'm gonna save Laurel. Did she? No, because Sarah Lance is a hero. And okay, she needed a few words to remember this, but she didn't do it. And then Barry, like 2 seconds after losing, well, it wasn't 2 seconds, but the point is he made the choice that every other character in this universe has not made. Every other character has been able to put the well-being of everyone else first, and Barry just can't do that.
Okay, if we could touch back on the Iris point. Nope. Iris, I find it to be a little creepy, and hopefully Flashpoint Iris finds this a little creepy too, that he found her, and because they're meant to be, he's gonna be all up in her ass, and he's going to be after her, and just with this thought in his mind that, oh, she said she was gonna be with me in the other world, now we have to be together in this world. He's basically gonna leave her almost with no choice because he's gonna be sweet and charming and his little puppy dog self. And I find that to be a really, really creepy. And I hope when they fix everything up that she confronts him about it and she basically tells him what we're all feeling. Iris cannot be with a man who makes decisions like that. If that is a reflection on the kind of man that Barry is, on the kind of hero he is, girl don't need any of that. Nope, she could do better. She could do much better. Bring back Pretty Ricky. I can't.
For me, talking about Iris, I feel as you do that it was a manipulate. He's always tried to, in a way, with his time travel, manipulate the relationship. The first time that he went back, they had their declaration and they kissed by the bay. And when he came back into time, he assumed that he didn't have to work for it again. And then he did, and then he was all upset about that. But it's like, those are the consequences you have when you go back in time. You have to, if you're going to take this risk, if you're going to do this thing, you have to face the fact that not everything is going to be the same. But like you said, like when he goes back and he changes the entire reality because he goes back so far, it's not just a day that he goes back years. And then he comes back and he just assumes that Iris is going to be there and be waiting when he doesn't have that history with her. It feels like a manipulation of her. and it feels like a manipulation of the people in his life.
Yeah, Iris letting go of everything that he did in the manipulation. If she lets it go, it's going to be a disservice to her character. Also, where Iris goes, Joe goes. They're together. Like if Iris had to choose, she would pick her dad. So she's also going to be mad at the fact that you manipulated my dad and you manipulated the life that we had together when we took you in, because that was a great life. Sure, you went through bad things, but it was a great life. And I hope she doesn't forgive him. I hope the show doesn't make it that Barry just, bats its puppy dog eyes and looks at them and says, I'm so sorry. I didn't learn my lesson the couple first times. Forgive me. And then they're like, oh, sure, this is a family show. Let's go with it. No, he needs consequences to learn that what he did was wrong. Can West Allen survive this? Of course. This show still has time. But he needs to learn.
And going back to the selfishness, he picked himself over everyone who was in the finale of the episode. Like, they were all sitting around in the living room, and he picked himself over every single one of those people. So if you want to talk about that selfishness, Lizzie.
Yeah, like, but he basically, like, for me, the thing that bothers me is that he basically looked around in his life and decided that nothing he had was important enough, that he was willing to throw everything away. Like, you're not, I'm not saying he doesn't care for these people, but I'm saying that he basically decided that he would risk everything he had, and he had a good life. And I would hope, like Lyra said, that there are consequences, because I see these shows, Flash, Arrow, and Legends, and now Supergirl, and they exist in the same universe, and everyone faces consequences. And Oliver fucks up a lot, and he faces a lot of consequences, and then Barry fucks up, and everyone's like, oh, it's okay, Barry, you're so cute. But no, that can't be the way. That's not the hero way. And Barry has been presented, in contrast to Oliver Queen, as like the good hero, like the way you should be. And then we have Oliver, who has a lot of issues that we probably need a whole other podcast to discuss. But he's always so selfless. He's selfless to the point of stupidity. Like, he never puts himself first. But that's the hero, okay? That's basically the journey that we're watching. He's a hero. He always puts the city, Felicity, Diggle, Tia, people he doesn't know, the bad guys, everyone first. Barry only puts himself first. So how can we hold Barry up to a standard of being a hero if he can't even, like, in comparison to the other heroes that we have, he doesn't even come close?
Yeah, how does Barry have a drink named after him when Oliver doesn't? Okay, I suggest, Green Arrow, he's gonna have that almond latte. Yep, I approve of this. Fuck you, Barry.
Fuck you, Barry.
Okay, so I did want to talk a little bit more about Oliver Queen and Barry Allen, because they have painted, every time Oliver Queen has gone on to Barry Allen, they've painted them in contrast to one another to show the differences between the grizzled hero and the new hero. And they've shown Barry getting all these accolades and drinks named after him, like you said. And the difference I feel is that Oliver Queen has earned his title, whereas Barry Allen just assumes he's entitled to it. Just like a white man. Just like a white man. But they act like Oliver is bad because he's been forced to kill, whereas Barry, a lot of the times had other choices and other ways. And I feel like in a lot of ways Oliver's journey has been more difficult and more honest as far as getting to be a hero, whereas Barry just kind of has everybody saying, you're great, you're wonderful, you're awesome. And then he doesn't have anybody saying, like Felicity does or Diggle does to Oliver, yo, you're being a dumbass.
You fucked up, Barry. You fucked up.
Like, I feel like Cisco and the team, they get on his case about the wrong things. If that makes any sense.
Agreed.
Any other comparisons between Oliver and Barry you want to make?
No, I think we hit on all the right points.
Okay, so how do you think that his choice to go back will affect the world, like the entirety of the world.
I don't think it will affect it as much as they could have, because, well, Flashpoint in the comics affected everything, but we don't have Batman and Superman, and really they can't affect the world at the largest scale that they did in the comics, and mostly because as even if we watch all the shows, a lot of people don't, so they're not gonna affect Arrow completely just for something that happened on the Flash, just so you don't lose viewers. So they're probably not going to be able to do what they would have wanted to do, was change everything. Um,
I was saying that the biggest thing that could change in this world in Flashpoint are, what is it, the the business. Oh my god, what's the name of where they work? I'm blanking out. Star Labs. Star Labs is the biggest thing that's going to change. From what we saw in the previews, you have Cisco, who is cold and rich and controlling. That's the thing that's probably going to change the most because it reaches out towards the world. It's a business. But everything, I think it's going to be more focused. Caitlyn has never been around, so whatever happened. Oh my god, what about Ronnie? She never met Ronnie? They never got married?
no, maybe he's alive. Can they bring Robbie back from one episode?
Maybe.
And then kill him again? No, the worst part of this is basically that I think we all know how this is gonna go. Something is gonna happen, and then Barry is gonna decide that what he decided before was wrong, and he needs to go back to the other world. I don't know what's gonna get him there, but this is Barry, and it's probably gonna take like one episode. First thing that goes wrong, Barry's gonna be like, I can fix it, I'm the hero. And then he's gonna try to go back to the other world, and then the good things in this world are going to be lost, and we already know them. Okay, he'll show us things, he'll make us get attached, and then bam, he'll take more stuff away from us. Fuck you, Barry.
I think he's going to want to go back because he's going to start losing his powers. He's changed the world. He's not the Flash anymore. Honestly, I don't think he gives as much shits as they make it out to seem. I think it's, oh, I'm losing my powers. I guess I did something wrong. I'm sorry, guys. Forgive me.
Yeah.
It's also possible that the realities might be closing in on him and people are dying and the worlds are dying and he has no choice.
Nah.
Nah.
Remember, Barry's the most selfish man in the world. Alive.
Right. So, I mean, speaking of manipulation, it sounds like we're all concerned that they're going to manipulate us as well, our perceptions and the characters.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that perhaps rubs us all the wrong way.
Absolutely. They're going to show us the possibilities of all these grand things. They're going to tease us with maybe the possibility of people coming back, people being dead, and then they're just going to take it away. I'm not down for that. Nope. There's a certain limit. Like, I know Barry can time travel. He's the fastest man alive. But how many times are you going to do this? This is going to play out fast. Come on. No.
Like, I basically want Oliver to be like, Barry, you done fucked up now, kid. And then whack him in the head. Like he's 5. Because it feels like he's 5.
Yeah. And with the Justice League to get together and smack him in the head, one after the other, like a sonic smack from Supergirl. Yep.
Okay, so real quick, Lizzie, you touched upon grief. And one of the things that hit me about the entire arc, and the thing that I perhaps irritated me the most about the arc, is that they took a lot of care and they took a lot of time into showing Barry accepting his mother's death and accepting this, and then deciding to basically go back on it. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's kind of an insult to everyone who's lost a loved one and has had to go through the normal process of grief. And and it's hard and it takes a long time, and I get it, Barry. It's been a long time, but I've never judged Barry for missing his mom even though it's been forever, because I understand it. But right now, um, it's not even that he had the powers and he did this, it's just that he presented himself as a hero, as a person who would make better decisions than the regular people. And he's not. He's just a selfish asshole who gets a shortcut that we never had, but who doesn't seem to appreciate the good things that came with the bad. So he's decided he can lose the good things to try to fix something, and he doesn't even know what he's gonna get. He's basically like, you know what, Joe? I don't care enough about the kind of parent you were to me, even though you were not my real father, because I want my mother back, the actual one, even though I never had her and I don't know how she'll be. So fuck you, Joe. Bye.
No, fuck you, Barry. Imagine, like, okay, flashback right now. All those beautiful moments with Joe and I guess with his dad. All gone because Barry chose his other, like, his parents, well, his birth parents over Joe. Like, it's selfish. It's very selfish. Makes me even angrier. Fuck.
Yeah, because I mean, not only are they, like we said, manipulating the audience and trying to show a healthy way of grieving and then basically saying fuck you to it, he's saying fuck you to Iris, fuck you to Joe, fuck you to his dad, fuck you to the man he has become because of all these people and all these experiences. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, it's fucked up. I have a soft spot for, like, found families and taking people in, and Iris and Joe took him in. He grew up differently, and that wasn't good enough for him. And that just makes me, I'm not invested in him anymore. If he can throw away the people that are less powerful than him and treat them like this, I don't have faith in him. I don't.
So then, do you feel like the arc is at all redeemable?
Um, Personally, no. I don't think like I can ever forget this. I don't think I can ever forgive this. Could I possibly move on? Sure. Will the show make it so he like gets away scot free or really really easy? Yup. But I'm not going to forget. Like, the viewers aren't going to forget. The viewers aren't stupid. The people who watch The Flash aren't, they're smart people. They want consistent character development. They deserve consistent character development. And this was just, it was a bad move. And I understand it's part of comic canon, because comic canon is a big word that was, if you go through the flashpoint tag and if there's anybody that's mad, everybody's yelling like canon, canon, canon. But it also has to make sense. Like, I can get flashpoint, I could get changing it, because again, he travels through time, but something that makes sense. Make me believe it.
Lizzie?
I don't know. I don't know if I like maybe I could move on. Like I'm not that hard on my characters that I like. Like I give characters a lot of leeway. If I could see that Barry actually learned something from this, but actually learn from more than 2 episodes,
Yes.
maybe. But I would have to see a real commitment from the writers towards character growth that is actually character growth, like a character grows and stays there, not like slides back and then takes another step forward and then four back. And I'm tired of it. We're standing in the same place, Barry. No, we're probably a few steps back from when we started. And that's what I don't want to see. If he's actually going to grow, then maybe. If not, then I'm just going to watch The Flash to make sure I don't miss what I need to know for the crossovers with Arrow and Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow. Because look, Legends of Tomorrow does a lot of things badly, but right now I like the characters there more than I like Barry.
Oh wow. Oh wow. So do you feel like maybe if they got rid of the time travel aspect and only did it in like the most dire of circumstances, that it would help? Like he made a vow to not go back in time, the way that Oliver has made a vow not to kill.
It would be better. Absolutely. It would make the stakes higher, and it would make it that, like, things are bad when Barry decides to time travel. Right now it's just like, okay, I'm a little late for work, I'm going to time travel. I I forgot something at home. I'm gonna time travel because it was due on this guy's desk by 10 o'clock. The stakes, I don't care for them right now. And if they would limit it, that would help a lot. What about you, Linny? Do you think Barry's redeemable? Do you think he could come back from this shit?
I'm like Lizzie in that I'm willing to maybe see, but I don't know. I don't like time travel stuff to me doesn't make any sense. And I've had this discussion with you guys. I don't think that it's a smart thing to introduce it into your world. And I know that they had to because it's part of comic canon, and comic canon is Lord and Savior of us all. But it introduces the kind of consequences that get very illogical very quickly for me. And the whole idea of the emotional stakes go out the door for me. Like, I would rather just see Barry facing future demons and his personal demons and facing his grief, and that would be more interesting to me. The only way that I feel like it would be redeemable is if he didn't time travel, if he only did it if he had absolutely no choice, like what happened in the crossover, and the world had ended pretty much, and he had to go back. And it would have to take a lot of groveling on his part, a lot of groveling to Joe and Iris, Cisco, Caitlin, all of them, and to be like, listen, I didn't value you. Let me value you now.
Absolutely. And not just them, he would also have to ask for forgiveness from Oliver, from John, from Lila, Felicity. Imagine if something that he did messed up. Lila's not back, Sarah's not back. Oh no. He ran the risk of changing the world so much, and he needs to ask them for forgiveness. And he needs to even ask the people from Legends of Tomorrow for forgiveness.
If Lila's not back, I swear to God, I'm done with the Flash. If he mess with Lila, this is the end of you and me, Barry. Okay? I cannot take that shit. Okay? I already have enough trouble with the fact that there's not enough Lila. Okay? If they mess with Lila, I'm done.
What about baby Sarah?
No. If they mess with Lila or baby Sarah, dude, no, I can't. I can't with you, Barry. God. This is the reason why I walked around Comic Con yelling "Fuck you, Barry" every time I saw his costume.
Yep.
So basically, if Barry messes with Lila and baby Sarah, fuck him with a forklift.
Like, we can forgive maybe, what happened with his people, Joe, Iris, everybody on Arrow. But yeah, baby Sarah, Lila, nope. We can't go back from this, Barry. We're done.
So basically, we can close this segment with the one sentiment that we all agree on, and that is,
fuck you, Barry.
Fuck you,
Barry. Amen. Okay, now I know that we've had one big what the fuck, but we are still due for our what the fuck corner. So, to start, Lizzie, what the fuck?
What the fuck? My what the fuck moment of the week is Jeremy Slater, who is the executive producer of The Exorcist, saying that live tweeting was a garbage idea perpetuated by garbage people. Now, I've heard a lot of explanation about him saying that later they said that he just meant that if he was forced to live tweet or whatever. But like I don't know anything about The Exorcist. I've never seen the movie actually. I don't do scary. I wasn't gonna watch it, but from now on, I promise you, if I see the name Jeremy Slater, I'm never gonna watch it. Whatever he does from now till the end of his days, I'm gonna avoid, and I'm gonna tell everyone I know to avoid. Because live tweeting is people doing publicity for you for free. People who are excited for your show. And those are the people you just said fuck you to, like Barry.
Alright, what the fuck, Lyra?
My what the fuck moment of the week is a random stranger, because I'm not even going to give you his name, grabbing Gigi Hadid and picking her up and scaring the ever living hell out of her. And then when she hit him back, like, oh, she's the BAMF of the week as well. When she hit him back, the news media decided to say, oh, supermodel goes crazy on fan. No, she was defending herself like every woman should do. He had no right. Oh, she's a supermodel, she's a celebrity. That does not give you the right to touch her at all. Yep, that's my moment.
And that was a nicely thrown elbow.
Very nice. I want it in slow motion, over and over again.
Okay, my what the fuck might take me a second, but I want to talk about it for a minute. There was a rag of a magazine that I will not name because they do not deserve the publicity. They can suck my butt. They decided to run a little post about Emma Watson's speech about rape on colleges. Now, one of the things that she talked about, she said, let's see, the university must tell women that their brain power is valued. And she also said, the safety of women, minorities, and anyone who may be vulnerable is a right and not a privilege. These were the sorts of quotes that she said, and the sort of empowerment that she's trying to bring to people around college universities and trying to speak out about rape on campus. The Trash Rag Suck My Butt magazine decided to insult her by calling her Hermione, by doing the very thing that she was talking out about, and treating her like she was less than human because she dared to be an actor and an activist. I have a problem with this because just because a person is an actor, that does not mean that they don't have a right to not, or that doesn't mean that they shouldn't speak out about things. If they feel passionately about a cause, they have the right to speak out about it, and they are not in a situation where it's dance monkey dance. They are human beings with thoughts. They're entitled to say what they want to say, and when they're saying something that matters to so many and is such a powerful message, taking that and trying to take the power away by calling you by a character name is just stupidity. I know another actor, Will Wheaton, they always call him Wesley to try and take away, like when he talks about politics or human rights and Black Lives Matter, they call him Wesley to try and make him seem like an idiot and just an actor. But you can be more than one thing, and it needs to stop. Actors are entitled to speak out. And when they're speaking out in such a powerful way, that matters, and not every actor will because they're afraid. So when it happens, we need to respect them, and we need to, even if we don't agree with them, we need to at least respect the fact that they're doing something that could negatively impact their career, and stop being douchebags about it.
Yes, no douchebags allowed.
Amen.
By the way, Lenny, while you're talking about this, I don't know if you saw the post today, but Stephen Amell said that he is auctioning off an Arrow set visit to raise money for the LGBT Center of Central Florida. This is what actors should do. You have the money, you have the power. Go out there, do some beautiful stuff for the world. Fuck yeah. Go Emma Watson. Go Stephen Amell.
The LGBTQI community needs our love and our support.
Yeah, oh yeah, well this is an exclusive Arrow set visit. It's on eBay. It's a bid. Right now it's up to $10,000. But all of it will be donated to the LGBT Center of Central Florida.
So go forth and conquer, minions. Do it. Go do it. Come on. Alright, so that is it for Stop and Fangirl. We have enjoyed having you all here. You're all lovely, lovely unicorns for coming back and listening to us, and we thank you for listening to all our what the fucks this episode. Come see us again.
This is Lissy, Lyra, and Lenny from Stop and Fangirl.